I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me.
The world didn't forget him. It just learned to love him in silence. July 17, 2025, somewhere between a half-finished song and a breath unshared. There are people who leave quietly. And there are those who, even in silence, echo louder than applause ever could. Last night, Seoul didn't light up. It dimmed itself intentionally, like a stage waiting for someone who never needed curtains to perform. Not out of grief, but reverence. Because when Kim Taehyung disappears, the world doesn't panic. It pauses. He's not a comeback. He's a continuation. Most idols return with an album, a photo shoot, a scandal. But Taehyung returns like rain on a forgotten Sunday. Unscheduled. Unapologetic. And yet exactly when we need him. A jazz bar in Mapo played a melody no one knew. A flicker of his voice maybe. Or maybe not. But the woman at table 3 cried anyway. Because some feelings don't need proof. Just presence. Not missing. Just elsewhere. A new photograph leaked, half-blurred, almost deliberate. A man by a canyon in Arizona feeding birds from his palm. He wore silence like a scarf. His hair kissed by sunset. No angles. No filters. Just soul. Is it him? They asked. No one answered. Because the answer wasn't important. The ache was. Jungkook left the window open again. He posted a video 4 seconds long. Just wind. A piano key pressed by accident. And then, almost imperceptibly, a whisper. Not a word. But a name. One never said but always felt. ARMY didn't trend a hashtag. They just turned up the volume. And in between static and serenity they heard it. Taehyung. Not the man. The moment. He's not absent. He's everywhere. The light fails softly. In Norway, a shopkeeper says a Korean man bought a typewriter. He paid in silence and left a napkin that read, "Sometimes love needs to vanish before it can be seen." In Kyoto, a glass studio has a piece titled "The Moment Between Yes and Goodbye." No artist name. But fans recognize the curve of the strokes. The loneliness in the shape of color. They didn't say anything. They just bowed. As if in prayer. He never announced his exit. So why announce a return? Taehyung once said, "I want to live like art that you discover slowly." And now he's doing just that. Not hiding. But healing. Not gone. But growing beneath the soil of stillness. You won't find him in promotions. But maybe in the way the rain feels different this week. In the way your playlist knows what you need before you do. In the way even silence seems to hum in D minor. ARMY isn't waiting. They're remembering. They leave notes on cafe tables. They press pressed violets into books with titles like "He Once Smiled Here." They write poetry not to him, but with him. Because loving Taehyung was never about proximity. It was about presence. Even the kind you can't touch. The industry doesn't know what to do with him. He doesn't chase virality. He doesn't sell controversy. He sells pause. Space. Time. While others chase the stage, Taehyung chased a sunrise over a lake in Iceland, just to say, "This is how my voice feels now." And we believe him. Because some people don't need to prove their art. They just need to exist. His voice is now the universe's secret instrument. Somewhere in Los Angeles, a film is being scored. The composer won't reveal who's humming in the background. But when fans hear it, they cry. Because it doesn't sound like music. It sounds like memory. Jungkook still carries him. Gently. Quietly. Faithfully. A fan noticed it, the chord progressions in his last live. Not typical Jungkook. More ambient. Like Taehyung. Like someone playing through grief and grace at the same time. When asked about collaborations, he smiled. Not the rehearsed one. But the kind that says, "I promise not to speak for him. Just to hold space." And that's what he's doing. As are we all. This is not just a news cycle. It's a devotion. He didn't post. He didn't trend. But you felt him today, didn't you? In the cafe music. In the way the sky turned lavender at 6:12 p.m. In that second you stared at nothing but felt everything. That's Taehyung. Still writing stories on the walls of your soul. Not with ink, but with breath.
Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind.
Maybe the world didn't lose him. Maybe it just learned to look elsewhere. July 18, 2025, between the hours no one talks about. There is a kind of quiet that doesn't mean loneliness. It means preservation. And Taehyung has become that kind of quiet. Not the absence of sound, but the presence of something so sacred, the world dares not speak too loudly around it. He isn't gone. He's just in the places we don't know how to describe. A mural appeared in Florence and signed. A boy in a trench coat beneath a night sky painted with bruised purples and fading stars. The plaque reads, "To the one who taught the moon to wait." Fans didn't need confirmation. They left lavender petals by the wall. One simply whispered, "I knew he'd visit Italy this way." Because Taehyung never travels in footsteps. He travels in echoes. The comeback has no hashtag. But it has begun. In Jeju, a fisherman told a story of a young man who sat by the sea and played a trumpet to the sunrise. No notes. Just breath. Just longing. He didn't ask for a photo. He just said. He looked like someone who wasn't trying to return, only to remember. And that's what this is, isn't it? Not a return. A remembering. Jungkook keeps lighting candles, not spotlights. In his last live, he played a song no one recognized. Soft. Haunting. The kind of music you only write for someone you still talk to in dreams. He didn't name it. He just said, for someone who makes silence feel full. And everyone knew. Because some dedications aren't made with words. They're made with restraint. The fandom has become a religion of patience. They no longer tweet in urgency. They write in journals. They don't demand proof of life. They write poetry like prayers. You don't have to sing. Just breathe. That's enough. I played your old video today and it felt like opening a letter I never mailed. They know he's reading. Not with eyes. But with soul. There's talk of an album that's just silence. 11 tracks. Each one named after a place he never visited, yet somehow mourned. Track 1, Oslo in October. Track 5, The Alley That Forgot My Name. Track 9, The Window Jungkook Waited At. Track 11, Just Silence. A full minute of nothing. And then a breath. Not for sales. Not for charts. But for healing. Because sometimes the loudest message is the one left unspoken. He's not performing. He's practicing presence. No tour. No teaser. But a man in Portugal claimed a stranger came to his vinyl shop and asked for Nina Simone records. He left behind a sketch on a napkin. A man standing on a bridge of stars, holding a violin made of smoke. The man didn't ask for a signature. He framed the napkin instead. And every day since, he plays jazz at sunset. Just in case. This is not a disappearance. It's a rewriting. The industry thinks silence is a mistake. A misstep. But Taehyung always knew better. He isn't escaping fame. He's escaping expectation. To wake when his soul stirs. To write when the moon allows. To speak only when the silence begs him to. And in doing so, he's showing us a new way to exist. Not in performance. But in peace. Jungkook knows. He's always known. He still smiles when fans mention Taehyung. Not the smile of PR training. But the kind that remembers laughter on hotel balconies and inside jokes whispered on planes. He touches his necklace when no one's asking about it. He hums songs that never made it to the charts. And he once whispered, barely caught on mic. You don't have to come back, Young. Just keep being somewhere soft. It wasn't a request. It was permission. From someone who's still waiting, not for an arrival, but for a sunrise he knows will return when it's ready. Taehyung taught us that silence is not surrender. It's sovereignty. The world scrolls. The world shouts. But those who know him have learned to wait with grace. To drink their coffee a little slower. To walk past lavender bushes with their eyes closed. To leave space in their playlists for things not yet written. Because his music may not return this year. But his feeling never left.